these credentials are also used as weapons by the people who control the industries, the government, education, the medical community, and everything. If you don't have the right credentials and know the right people and slob the correct knobs, you're not getting anywhere near any of this stuff. And then they use it as a bludgeon when you try to challenge them. Dr. Fauci was probably the best example of that. He literally stood on camera and said, if you challenge me, you're challenging science.
Yeah, what a fucking arrogant prick.
That was an astounding example of hubristic credentialism.
Yep.
Claiming that just because he was who he was with his degree and his doctor title, that he was literally science and that you could not challenge him. Did you know Dr. Fauci has never been anything but a bureaucrat?
Yeah, he's
done
seen no patients.
Nope.
He's done nothing but steal other
That's at
people's
school.
work.
Yes.
And patent it to make money.
Yes.
Well, if you take in the, experiments that he did with beagle puppies, that they surgically removed their vocal cords so we wouldn't hear them yelp when their faces were getting eaten alive by fleas.
Yes.
Would you consider those patients?
Not
No.
really.
I'm sorry. The people are saying he needs to be put in prison. He needs to be put under
Careful.
prison.
Yes.
Maybe perhaps we can arrange, if he's tried for treason, extreme chiropractic, if he's convicted by a jury, and that's the penalty.
And then
let sand fleas eat his face.
Nah, I'm not doing that unhumane shit to anybody.
It's as long as whatever happens to him, we have just a pack of beagle puppies come over and piss and shit all over his useless corpse. After all that's said and done, just so that I can feel that I've gotten some retribution.
I love dogs, but guess what? People are going to do scientific experiments on animals.
No, there was no reason for that. Anyway, Fauci's statements are an example of something that you need to know and understand.
It's gatekeeper credentialism.
That is gatekeeper credentialism. It is also what's called argument from authority, where somebody says, you must listen to me simply because I have a degree. Now,
that is very common for the left to say that.
Yes. And the other version of that is argument to authority, appeal to authority, and we saw tons of this during the lockdowns, where you'd say to somebody, why are you wearing that mask? It doesn't help you. I'll trust the doctors. You don't know anything. You don't have a medical degree. They're appealing to authority, claiming that you can't possibly know anything because you don't have the credentials of somebody that they saw on TV.
But you have the ability to read an actual scientific study that has been done on masks, and you can say, well, I've got such and such studies that say this doesn't work.
Or you might have dozens and dozens of hours wearing protective gear and standing in actual gas.
Yeah, that sucks.
Or you could just take the simple route and look on the side of the freaking box of the plastic paper surgical masks.
Yeah.
They literally said, will not and does not help protect from COVID. That's exactly what they said on the box. Trust me, I had a box of those masks at work. They said, oh, you got to wear them. I'm like, I'm not fucking wearing that thing.
Yep.
I'm fucking wearing it.
The box that it doesn't work. Wear it. The scientist said so.
Well, when it came to the mask thing, when it was going on, I usually would have it hanging off one of my ears. They'd be, hey, you need to put your mask on. Okay. And as soon as they turn away, I pull it down under my chin and continue doing what I'm doing.
Yep. I think
what?
I was going to say, I think the first time when that whole thing first kicked off, I was like, okay, I was one of the people. This may be concerning. I will do what the experts say, and I'm putting experts in quotations. I think I wore a mask probably 4 times.
Yep.
So I recognized it for what it was right away because we go through extensive chem training, and my first unit, 2nd Infantry, the commanding officer of the time, if you were training, you were going to get gassed.
Correct.
So I had tons of time with that stuff. I knew right away that the masks were stupid. So I sat down at my dining room table and I actually sewed a mask from cheesecloth and butcher's twine.
Nice.
And left the little let my people go threads on the side, like the Orthodox Jews wear on their belts.
Yeah.
And I would wear this literally cheesecloth mask. I wore it into the sheriff's department at one point. I wore it into a couple of pharmacies. I wore it into a hospital.
Yeah.
And nobody ever challenged me a single time. And that was such a concrete demonstration of how stupid the entire thing was, because it was clearly and obviously cheesecloth.
Correct.
I was unambiguously, this guy is wearing a cheesecloth on his face with some butcher's twine.
You actually showed me that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, that, and then we had, who was it? One of those quote unquote famous celebrities literally had a crocheted mask on her face.
I forget who that was, but yeah, I remember.
Was
that.
it like Chrissy Teigen, or
I think it was Chrissy Teigen.
it was one of those
Teigen, yeah.
complete batshit insane women on there? Like, I'm doing my part.
Oh,
Bitch, I can see your gap tooth through your mask.
Jimmy, do you know how rare completely batshit insane women in Hollywood are?
they're all fucking crazy.
I think I met one normal one, and she was just disgusted with all the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think I met one normal female in Hollywood when I worked out.
But here's another thing we need to realize. If somebody sits there and tells you, trust the science, tell them to fuck off, because the science always changes, especially if they're like, well, the consensus is, it doesn't matter. If 1,000 people think it's correct and you know it's not, it doesn't matter.
Yep. Well, there is one state, I can't remember which one it is. They are taking Pfizer to court.
Yeah, I just read that today.
Because it was safe and effective and it stopped transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all know how that went.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a special place in my heart for those people. And it's not actually in my heart, it's on government land, and it involves a shovel.
Mm.
And there may or may not be endangered plants planted above them, so they can't be ever dug up.
We need to stop talking like this, gentlemen.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Yeah, I got you.
Have any comments on that?
Allegedly.
But, listen, when enough people die, you're going to get mob justice. And let's just leave it at that.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat caser box.